Ruthmere, one of the most remarkable homes in Indiana, tells the story of three prominent Elkhart families. The story of Elkhart begins in 1831 when Dr. Havilah Beardsley purchased land in a remote wilderness at the confluence of the St. Joseph and Elkhart rivers from Potawatomi chief Pierre Moran. A licensed physician and entrepreneur, Havilah saw the potential for water power by utilizing the Elkhart and St. Joseph rivers as well as Christiana Creek. He constructed the first rope ferry system across the rivers as well as 6 mills in Elkhart County, including the first saw, flour, paper, and carding mills. In 1848, Havilah and his wife Rachel Beardsley built the first brick home in Elkhart on the north bank of the St. Joseph River. The Havilah Beardsley House still stands today and is open to the public as a museum. After Havilah's death in 1856, his nephew Albert R. Beardsley answered his Aunt Rachel's request for assistance in running the family businesses in Elkhart. After 2 decades of successful business endeavors, Albert's skills were sought out by Dr. Franklin Miles. Together, Albert Beardsley, George E. Compton, and Dr. Franklin Miles formed what would become one of the world's best-known pharmaceutical companies, Miles Laboratories.
Albert Raper Beardsley married Elizabeth Baldwin Beardsley, and her father had the best job in town. He wasn't the superintendent of the railroad station. He was the ticket agent. He got a cut on every seat that was sold on any train going in any direction out of Elkhart, and I guess he, did quite well.
In 1872, Albert wed prominent Elkhart native Elizabeth Baldwin Beardsley. After 36 years of marriage, in 1908, Albert and Elizabeth commissioned Elkhart architect Enoch Hill Turnock to design a Beaux Arts-style home.
We do have in his own handwriting instructions to the architect, who was an Englishman, by the way, E. Hill Turnock. And they came up with this Beaux-Arts house. It was built with the very best of everything. And A.R. instructed the architect, he said, I want my house built with everything from as close to home as possible. He wanted Hoosier stuff, Indiana limestone from downstate. And the bricks came from Dayton, Ohio. He didn't want to have to import anything. They loved to entertain gregarious, outgoing people. And they had a great number of parties here, many of them oriented to politics. Elizabeth liked to dress up. She had beautiful taste in clothes and would actually receive her guest in that room that we call the French room. Hatted, gloved, long dress, sometimes with a parasol, and they would come and go and say, how do you do? It was a little bit like visiting the local duchess, and I think she probably enjoyed that.
The Beardsleys selected one of the city's premier riverfront sites for their showcase home. Ruthmere overlooks Island Park and the confluence of the St. Joseph and Elkhart rivers, the precise location that had captured Havilah's attention 80 years earlier. Ruthmere was named in memory of Albert and Elizabeth's only daughter, Ruth, who died in infancy in 1881. For 14 years, Albert and Elizabeth entertained friends, family, and business associates in grand style. Both died within a few short months of each other in 1924. Albert's nephew, Arthur Beardsley, and his wife, Stella, became the second family to live at Ruthmere. Between 1925 and 1944, Arthur and Stella oversaw a period of transition at the house. Staff sizes were reduced, the kitchen and pantries were updated, and an elevator was installed for Stella's use. The deaths of both Arthur and Stella by 1944 ended the era of Beardsley family ownership of Ruthmere. The Cheryl and Helen Deputy family purchased the home in 1945, saving it from an uncertain future.
My dad visited this house a couple of times, and on about his second or third visit, the realtor that was showing it to them, he said, well, we just had another couple coming in to look at the house, and they're from the South. And they were just enamored with the woodwork, and they said, won't it look lovely painted white? Well, if you think about the houses, the antebellum South, they were all painted white pine. Well, this isn't pine. This is gorgeous mahogany. And he had said, that's a travesty. I can't let that happen. At which point he put an offer in the house and bought it.
The deputies were the first and only family to have children call Ruthmere home. The old service quarters were converted into bedrooms for the 6 deputy boys. Music, laughter, and the energy of youth echoed through the walls and floors of the old home. Ruthmere buzzed with the excitement of after-prom parties in the game room, tackle football games on the front lawn, and basketball on the back driveway.
The terrific thing about this house was it was big enough that you could have 5 boys, and it was built so well they didn't destroy it. And it was a nice neighborhood. Great friends on Crawford Street behind us and Gordon Street 1 block over. And this was the hangout. This was where everybody spent their time, and my folks encouraged it.
In 1967, the deputies sold Ruthmere to the Beardsley Foundation, which restored the home to its former glory with the express purpose of creating a house museum. Albert's great-great-nephew, Robert Buchanan Beardsley, an architectural preservationist, supervised the 4-year restoration project. The site opened to the public in 1973 with Robert Beardsley as director and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1978.
When the homes that were on Beardsley Street, which were beautiful homes, older homes, were torn down, make a parking lot, and I think that put my father over the top, because he said, now all these beautiful homes are gone. We cannot allow that to happen. This home is too nice. It has too much care put into when it was built to let it go to the wrecking ball and become a parking lot.
And so I think my dad saw that and thought, what can I do? I kind of saved it once. How can I save it in perpetuity? And when Walter Beardsley approached him, I think that he felt that would protect it for everybody to enjoy for many years to come.
And what we're trying to be as a cultural, social, focal point, available to everybody. Come see, but come hear our concerts, go to our free family Sundays, go through the house, see what it was like, see what life can be like, was like, could be like.
Today, Ruthmere offers an experience in history, art, and architecture, allowing visitors a glimpse into the lives of the 3 families who have called Ruthmere home. We hope you enjoy your tour. Thank you for visiting Ruthmere.